Welcome here today to Hot Legendary Wheels, and we are pumped and excited to have each and every one of y'all here today for this legendary lineup, for this legendary show here today that you don't want to miss. Dad, we have hit over 200 subscribers on YouTube, and we've hit 56 followers on Twitter. All of our viewers, we have some of the best viewers and the best subscribers anywhere, and each and every one of them are incredible. Each and every one of them are legendary.
That's right.
Each and every one of them are awesome. We want to thank y'all before we start off the show here today. We want to thank y'all for what y'all do. This show is dedicated to each and every one of y'all. And today, Dad, you have a legendary lineup, starting off with the 1974 Chevy Vega 2300 and the 1974 Ford Pinto. But before we get into that, if you look to the right of your screen, we have the box of Hot Wheels, Matchbox, and also a couple of Mahistos in here. Let us know if you're a Mahisto fan. Subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. We went through the first six. So the first six of these cutouts in the box are empty. This next video, this next show, we're going to go through the next six of these Hot Wheels, Matchbox, and Mahisto castings. Also today we have an incredible lineup of hypercars, and we're going to show you some 2019 versions of Hot Wheels hypercars, and we have a Hot Wheels new for 2020, a new color casting, a new 76 Greenwood Corvette that you don't want to miss. But Dad, let's start off with this incredible lineup that you have for us today. I'm going to bring this into
All
view.
right. Yeah, bring those things up here. I tell you
This
what.
is really, really incredible. And Dad, talking about the Chevy, talking about the 1974 Chevy Vega 2300, I want to let everybody know that the Vega is now the Cruise, and it was the Cobalt, which is pretty cool. But what can you tell us about the 1974 Chevy Vega 2300 and the 1974 Ford Pinto?
Hey everybody, it's good to see everybody again. Thank you all so much for joining us and being a part of our day today. Thank you for letting us be a part of yours. Yes, sirree, Bobby. This thing right here, I don't know, I really enjoyed it. I had a Vega. I did. I had a Vega.
I remember the pictures that you have.
Yeah, it was light green.
Of the light green Vega that you used to have.
Matter of fact, my brothers and I, we had actually bought the Vega, and we were actually going to do some real good customizing on it, but also we were going to do a little hot rodding on it, putting the small V8 in it and everything. But we went back to college and we didn't have any money, so I ended up selling the car. But anyway, this just reminds me, because ours was a 74. This is a 74. Ours was a 71. Now these Vegas and Pintos, they came about because of one thing. It started all the way back in 1915, which was way back before here, but that's when America really owned the auto market. They produced more cars in America than was produced all over the entire world, anywhere else. But as the years went by and it got closer into the 50s and up to the end of the 50s, 1959, it came to the point where the foreign cars were catching up very rapidly. So Ford in 1960 actually produced the first, what was called the compact car, and that was called the Falcon. But then in 1963, Chevrolet came out with their version of the compact car called the Nova, and I had a Nova too. And oh yes, a 66 was my very first car. But anyway, we remember the Vega for this. John DeLorean, if you remember John DeLorean, he was with General Motors for many years. And he was over the GTO project, remember that? He also helped with the Monte Carlo. But now he was president and chairman of the Chevrolet division of General Motors, and he was over the Vega project. So, I mean, he was going all out on this thing. It was big. I mean, they were going to actually choose a plant out in Ohio strictly for the Vega, and it has a lot of expensive designing going into it. It took them a little while longer than what they'd anticipated. The car ended up being about 300 pounds heavier because they did some improvements on it. At any rate, what they did, they finally came out with a finished product. And I remember in Time magazine around September of 1970, they actually had the Ford Pinto and the Chevy Vega 2300 as part of their feature, because they were introducing the first what they call mini cars or subcompact cars that America had ever produced. You see, Americans had always been used to the big cars. And even today they drive the big trucks and the big cars. And well, they're quite safer actually, but they built these cars for the simple fact there was oil embargo and stuff going on in the 70s. Gasoline had got high, so everybody was looking for something economical. They were buying the foreign cars, so General Motors and Ford, they wanted to kind of get in on the market so that they didn't lose that market. And so the Chevy Vega 2300 and the Ford Pinto were designed and manufactured by the General Motors and the Ford Motor Company. Now, DeLorean, what he did, he went and did some things to the Vega that was different. The Vega had many things.
I'm going to show this to everybody.
You can show the car really good because it had many things that had never appeared on the car. Number one, you can't see them right here because it had front disc brakes. No car of General Motors had ever had front disc brakes, but it came on the Vega. An all-aluminum engine was in this car.
Look at this engine.
It was supposed to be a very revolutionary new 90, and if it had a one barrel, it was a 90 horsepower. If it had a two barrel carburetor, it was a 110 horsepower engine. But this car was a very, very cool looking car. Look at Camaro. The very first ones came out had like a Camaro front end on it. This was the year 1974 was the first restyle, because they said it would go 4 years before the next restyle, and it did. Just basically go almost 4 years.
And you know what it also looks like if you look at it? A smaller version of the Nova.
I tell you what, they were
If you look at the slant, now ladies and gentlemen, look at the slant in the back. If you look at the top of the roof and the slant in the back, this literally does look like a Nova. A Nova, if you look at it. It's a smaller version.
Yeah, they actually styled some of the Novas after that, especially during the 75, 76 models and stuff. And they too came just like this. This car actually came in the two-door coupe. It came in the three-door hatchback. It came in a station wagon, and it came in a panel version, like a commercial type version. It had about 650 pound payload. But this car was the whole thing about this car was it was meant to compete with the Volkswagen. And that was boom, take it head on, just as the Pinto was. But Pinto and the Vega were competing with each other as well.
Let y'all look at this a little bit.
That's right. And both these came out and were actually first on the market in 1971, around August. But anyway, these cars, when they came out, they were widely, that was big sales. They were going really good. Everything was going good for General Motors and Ford. And they were very successful at really coming in and attacking the market, so to speak, and ended up getting a big share to start with. But then the cars began to have problems. And Ford actually had a problem where it was actually discontinuing the Pinto in 1974, and it would be made into the Mustang II. And as you know, the smaller Mustang that I always call the Pinto Mustang.
Yes, the Pinto.
Because it did start out with a four-cylinder, and I said, "Oh, that ain't no Mustang."
I think we do have some kind of like Pinto Mustangs as castings that we could show everybody in the future.
I do have one, so I'll pull it out sometimes. But then later they did do the V6s and the V8s and those. But this car actually had a problem in the fact that if it was rear-ended, they had several lawsuits on Ford because actually the fuel tank would explode. Now, this particular car up here, it wasn't anything like that, but what it was some mechanical issues. Well, number one, it had a rust problem on the body, but number two, the new form of the all-aluminum engine, the heads would warp on it and the oil would start leaking out of it. And, well, that's what happened to my Vega, so I know that's true. And at any rate, it went from 1971 through 77. The reason it went through 77 was because in 1975, they actually commissioned the Cosworth Engineering of England to produce a 111 horsepower high output four-cylinder for the car that was absolutely perfect. It was a good engine. So these cars, this actually carried over into the Monza the Vega engine actually started into the Monza. These cars actually didn't last very long for themselves, but they did something very special, and they actually taught Americans. Americans never built small cars. This is their first endeavor right here. So it taught them a lot of the things they needed to know about the small car. And from the Chevrolet Vega, well, then you come the Monza, the Cavalier, the Cobalt, and the Cruise. Those cars were actually, I always call them different generations of Vega, but they got better and better and better and better.
Now, I have a Chevrolet Cobalt.
And it's a good car.
It's a good car. It's actually metal, which is incredible, but I've had that thing for, 10 years now?
But the reason the Pinto came along to battle it out with the Vega was because of the success of the Mustang. And you didn't ever see CEOs driving Pintos or any kind of subcompact, but you could see Henry Ford II driving a Pinto sometimes, his own cars that he built. But anyway, these cars, what they did, they were the springboard for like the Mustang 2, which went into the different styles of Mustangs. And then you see the Mustang we have today is really cool. It really did a lot to teach Americans how to build the smaller cars and get it right. And today they have it right. But these are the beginnings. So I look at this as, well, sometimes when you're trying and you start out with something, you got to experiment. And that's what they were doing with these cars. And in doing so, they weren't really afraid of failing, because sometimes things do fail like that. But they learned from it. And today, man, we have I look at the American cars as the best cars on the road. And they're built really good, and they're really strong, very dependable. And these guys here are the ones who started out, I guess you would say it's a guinea pig type thing, but look what has become of it. It's a great market. And now, we do compete very well with the foreign market. So,
we talk about always on this show how the automobile teaches you history. And this teaches you history. Motor Max with Fresh Cherries did an incredible, legendary, detailed job on these two castings, from the 1974 Chevy Vega 2300 on the top to the 1974 Ford Pinto on the bottom. Two iconic history-making castings right here. And like I said, I have a Chevrolet Cobalt.
Yeah.
And have had it for almost 10 years.
If it wasn't for a Vega, you wouldn't have a Cobalt.
If it wasn't for a Vega, I would not have a Cobalt.
That's right.
And the Cobalt that I have is an incredible car. And Chevrolet has done such a great job between Chevrolet and Ford on these two castings, on these two automobiles. These two automakers have done incredible jobs. And you look at this and you look at where the car has come from to where it has come to, which is incredible.
Yes, if you ever look back at history, or look back at the pictures of some of these cars, and you see the Vega as the Cosworth Vega, they came in black and gold, and they were stunning, very beautiful. If you saw the Pinto, when I was in college, I had a friend that had a Pinto, and man, we go riding that Pinto. It sounded like a little pony when they started up, But man, they were a lot of fun to ride around, and I really enjoyed it. And both these cars, though they were short-lived, they actually produced other brands, helped to produce other brands that even exist today. So thanks guys. Ford, Chevy, you still did it, man. You really make some great products along the way, and today you got some of the finest in the world. So thank you guys. And thanks for Fresh Cherries for actually doing die-cast. That's in Motor Max for doing these die-cast of this Pinto and this Chevy Vega, because I really enjoy these die-cast, and it just reminds me so much.
There's one thing, Dad, we love on this show, and we love on this channel, whether it be Twitter, whether it be YouTube, whether it be Facebook, we love comments.
That's right.
And let us know what you think about these two iconic, legendary castings right here from Motor Max Fresh Cherries. Let us know what you think about the 1974 Chevy Vega 2300. Let us know what you think about the 1974 Ford Pinto. Maybe you've had one in reality. Maybe you have one as a die-cast. Let us know if you have one. Leave us comments, because we love your comments. We take all of your comments to heart.
They have auto clubs of both of these cars. And one is the Ford Pinto of America, and they have one for the Vega as well.
Hey, let us know if you're a part of one of these auto clubs. Hey, let us know. We love your comments. And now we are shifting gears to some incredible Hot Wheels we're going to be featuring here today on this show. So we're moving on from the Motormax Fresh Cherries 1974 Chevy Vega 2300 and the 1974 Ford Pinto, these iconic, legendary castings. Thank you, Motormax, for what you do. Thank you for all of your castings, for all of your vehicles. Thank you, Chevrolet. Thank you, Ford. You are legendary. You are iconic, and we greatly appreciate everything that you do. So, Dad, before we move on to our feature presentation here today on the show, Dad, we have new subscribers. We have new viewers. We have new followers, whether it be YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. We have hit over 200 subscribers on this show.
I tell you what, it's a blessing. It is very humbling, but it's a blessing. I just thank everyone, all the viewers, subscribers, the followers on the Facebook and YouTube and Twitter.
Everything.
It is just, I'm amazed, and I'm just thanking God every day that He allows us to be able to do this together as father and son. But to bring these particular shows to you guys and just tell you a little bit about history, some of the cars that came along and their place in history.
It's a blessing.
It is. And so we get to see a lot of these things, and we thank God for those who make replicas of them, because we have those things now that preserve the image of these cars that we can always remember. Don't forget what they look like, because when you see them, you know what they are.
So to all of you who subscribe to this show, to all of you who view this show week after week after week, to all of you who leave comments to the show week after week, to all of you who share this show and this channel, whether it be YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, to all of you who follow us, thank you so very much. Without y'all, this show is not possible. And we want to show our greatest gratitude and our greatest thanks to each and every one of y'all, because you are legendary, and you're part of our family, and thank you for what you do. And Dad, today we're going to show them something special. We have a brand new 2020 here. It's not brand new. It's not a new casting. It's just a new color, and this is incredible. Dad, how much do you love Corvettes? We love
Corvettes.
Yeah,
that's been my dream car, man.
We love Corvettes.
Every time I go to shows, anytime I go to the Chevy dealerships to look at cars or anything, matter of fact, we have one here in town that he is a Corvette collector, and a lot of his vintage Corvettes will be in the showroom sometimes. And I'm telling you, it's, I don't know, it just, to me, the Corvette is still the finest sports car America's ever built, and it's still its only sports car. So
because today,
two-seaters.
Today we have a legendary metal flake gold 76 Greenwood Corvette. This is new for 2020. It's not a new casting. It's a new color, part of Hot Wheels Race Day. Now, we do have the original. I want to let everybody know right now, we do have the original back from 2012.
That is beautiful.
That is a beautiful. Look at that casting.
That is beautiful.
At first, when I saw this, Dad, I honestly thought this was a super treasure hunt. The way it looks.
I tell you what, that is a gorgeous
just beautiful. It even has it has a 76 Tampo on the side, which is really cool. The 76 number. This debut was in Hot Wheels Racing Road. We do have the original. If you remember the original, it's a white and it has black on it. Black Tempos on it. We do have the original, produced from 2012 until now. Designer was Juan M.I. Thank you, Juan, for what you do. Thank you for producing this incredible, authentic casting.
That is a superb job.
Superb job. Let me just show everybody. Look at this. I want to just let everybody know. Look at the deep gold in that color. Doesn't this look like a super treasure hunt to you?
Yeah, they couldn't have chose a finer color for that color.
Look at that.
That is absolutely cool.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Number 34 of 250. There are going to be 250 cars come out this year in 2020. This casting is a 2020 Hot Wheels Race Day. The color is a metal flake gold. The tempos on this are black, red, and yellow stripes. 76 on hood and sides, and Hot Wheels logo on and Michelin on the side. So it also has, look at this, it has a Hot Wheels logo on the tail end, and also there's Michelin right there. And there is the Chevrolet with Chevrolet emblem right there towards the front.
There it is.
There's a 76 on the hood and the 76 on the doors. But look at these stripes. Look at these tempo stripes. The black and red and yellow with the gold. And it has a white base to it. And just very, very, very beautiful.
Yes, it is. That is a gorgeous.
Let us know what you think about the 76, the all-new 2020 76 Greenwood Hot Wheels Corvette, part of Hot Wheels Race Day. Let us know what you think, because that is how I say this, that's a supercar right there. That is a supercar.
Corvette's always number one in my book. I don't know.
Yes.
Whenever
all American muscle right there.
Yes, it is, and it is pure American.
So now, Dad, we're going to get into some hypercars.
Ooh-wee.
Now,
say hyper, that means go, baby.
One of our viewers, yeah, that means go, go, go. One of our viewers, and we thank you for your comment, one of our viewers wanted to know what a hypercar is. Want us to go into some detail of the hypercar. It just so happens we have some Hot Wheels castings.
It just so happens.
New. It just brand new for 2019.
Yeah.
Hot Wheels castings of some 2019 hypercars. Now, the hypercar is a design concept car developed by energy analyst Amory Lovins at the Rocky Mountain Institute. This vehicle would have an ultra-light construction with an aerodynamic body using advanced composite materials, low drag design, and a hybrid drive system. Now, the hypercar is just simply a concept car.
Yeah.
And today, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we have not one, not two, but three legendary hypercars here for y'all today.
I tell you, the hypercars, I've seen some specials for them where they were designing and building these concepts.
Yes.
And I was thinking, wow, what if you really are able to get the cost and everything just right on these cars to where you can actually produce these for everyone and you can see them on racetracks? Oh, yeah, man, these are some nice looking cars.
So we have three incredible hypercars. So I looked up hypercar because honestly I was like, what is a hypercar? And thanks to the viewer that left a comment, I think we both learned some incredible information about the hypercar. And so we looked up some stats and we looked at some cars and we got all of those together for our viewers here today, for our subscribers here today.
I got to think about a hypercar and my heart started racing and I became a little hyper myself.
Oh, that's so funny.
Man, that's beautiful, man. That's
so
good
the
ideas.
first one, Dad, is a 2019, new for 2019 Hot Wheels.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It is a hypercar. Look at this. This is a 16 Bugatti Chiron. What about this? Now, this is a hypercar.
And that is a Bugatti, and that is a concept. This
is a concept car.
Beautiful car.
Part of Hot Wheels. It's also an exotic.
Yep.
The debut of this was Hot Wheels Exotic, produced from 2019 until now. The designer of this is Ryu Asada. Thank you, Ryu, for designing this incredible hypercar. The Bugatti Chiron is a mid-engine two-seater that holds the potential to be the fastest, most powerful car in Bugatti's history. It was named after car and driver Louis Chiron. It has a 7,993 cc 8.0 liter quad turbocharged W16 engine that develops 1,479 HP with a 0 to 60 performance of 2.4 seconds. It is...
Catch your breath.
Yeah. Catch my breath. It is a hypercar.
Ooh, yeah, I would say so.
Look at this.
I would say so.
Ladies and gentlemen, look at this. Look at this incredible, iconic hypercar. I love how Hot Wheels puts... You know, Dan, Hot Wheels does such a legendary job on all the detail to their vehicles.
In a design in a car, there's several elements have to go into it, but anybody that designs automobiles knows, number one, you got to love these things. You got to love what you're doing. It's from the heart. You got to see what you feel. What gets you going about a car. Number two, you got to have some good ideas as to how it's going to look, and the imagination of being able to produce something for the very first time with a total different design. Look at these things.
Look at this.
This is brilliant.
You go from the super American muscle Corvette, the 76 Greenwood Corvette, to the hypercar, which is a complete exotic, the 16 Bugatti Chiron. How incredible is that? New for 2019 Hot Wheels. Not only is the Bugatti a hypercar, but what about the McLaren?
Oh, yes.
Now we're getting into some business.
Now we're talking what the Corvette is.
Wow.
The Corvette and the McLaren. Oh, man. They're each other big right now.
Well, look at this. The McLaren is sitting right on top of the Corvette.
I tell you what, man.
How incredible is this? Hey, listen, if you haven't subscribed to the Hot Legendary Wheels channel right now, you need to subscribe because you do not want to miss the stats on this exotic. This is also new for 2019 Hot Wheels, part of the Hot Wheels Exotics. Wow, Dad, this is a hypercar.
Yes, it is. Boy, it is gorgeous.
Now, the debut of this was Hot Wheels Exotics, produced from 2019 until now. And the designer of this is also Ryu Asada. Thank you, Ryu, once again for such a legendary job. And look at this. This is also... How many of y'all love the Forza video game?
Yeah.
This is a Forza Horizon 4 car right here. How many of y'all? I love Forza. So let me know if y'all love the Forza video game, the car racing game. I love it, love it, love it. They teamed up with Hot Wheels to bring us this casting here today. The McLaren Senna is a Hot Wheels casting which was designed by Ryu Asada and debuted in the 2019 Hot Wheels Exotics mainline segment. Is based on the real-life vehicle manufactured in 2018 and named after, here comes a name, named after legendary Formula One McLaren driver Ayrton Senna. This casting is a hypercar. Love how they used legendary.
I know it. Hey, the fact of the matter is, these McLarens, if you look at the brand new Corvette for the 2020 year and the McLaren for 2020,
they're both...
You got to... They're really in big competition right now. This is big stuff between the Chevrolet and the McLaren. But these cars, when you see them, you really got to take a double take and say, ooh, that's a Corvette, or ooh, that's a McLaren.
Here's a question. I want to ask everybody. Here is a new for 2019 an Aston Martin.
Oh yeah.
I want y'all leave a comment right now. Do you think an Aston Martin is a hypercar? Leave a comment. Let us know what you think. Because tell me if this Aston Martin. I want everybody to look at the features. Tell me if this does not look like a 2020 Corvette. Leave a comment. Look at that, Dad. Look at the design of that. This looks like a Corvette.
This is a beautiful design.
Let us know if you think that is a hypercar. I'm just going to leave that right there because that's pretty cool. I love the color of this McLaren. It's an orange. The tampos are a detailed hood and taillights. The windows are tinted black. The interior is black. Here's the coolest thing about the McLaren, which is a hypercar. The McLaren was born in Woking, Surrey, England.
Oh man!
So this car was born in England.
Well, it is in England. It is a British car, and this car is world renowned and has won so many races and so many titles, especially in the supercar races. And you see some Corvettes sometimes. Like I said, they're up against these cars, and I mean they're back and forth at each other. Corvette wins its share, but boy, McLaren, woo-wee, that's a nice car.
You want to know the top speed? You want to know the top speed of the McLaren? 211 miles per hour.
Wow.
211. That is a super exotic hypercar. But not only do we have the McLaren,
okay,
but third,
here we go.
We have the Bugatti. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Part of Hot Wheels Speed Graphics. Here is our third and final 2019 chosen hypercar.
Man.
The Bugatti. Okay, so the Bugatti is an Italian mid-engine sports car produced by Bugatti, succeeding the company's previous offering, the Zonda. Dad, guess how much this thing cost?
I don't know. It looks like to me it might be a hypercar, but it's probably going to end up being a dream car too.
Oh my goodness! It cost $1,314,000. Now, this is named after a wind god, and it was named the hypercar of 2012 by Top Gear magazine. Okay, on February 11th, 2015, it was reported that the Pagani was sold out.
Oh, wow.
The Pagani uses a twin-turbo V12 engine developed by Mercedes AMG. How cool is that?
AMG, boy, that is a good
Wow,
group.
that is a fast car. It has a 6.0-liter engine. The M158 produces 730 metric horsepower.
Wow.
The 728 bhp, or should we say the 539 kW,
yeah,
and 811 pound-feet of torque. Its top speed is 238 miles per hour, beating the McLaren.
I tell you what, man, to go that fast,
that is legendary right there.
I would like to take that thing on a track, or else take it down to Bonneville.
Take it down to Bonneville.
Yeah, see, man, just open that thing up and see how fast it will go.
Now, this casting is a 2019 casting, Hot Wheels Speed Graphics. The color is red. The tampos are silver and black stripes. Brembo logo on sides, silver stripes on roof. The windows are clear. The interior is black. So we have shown you here today 3 iconic, legendary hypercars.
Man, those are all stunningly beautiful too.
And I want to say this. I still believe that this right here, this Aston Martin, I'm going to label it a hypercar.
Well,
but let us know. Let us know in the comments if you think the Aston Martin is a hypercar.
If it's got the materials, if it's got...
I tell you what, we're going to look up the stats on that.
The mechanics and everything that would produce it, would qualify as a hypercar. But it is a cool car.
It is really cool. It is awesome. It is legendary.
We will check that out.
So, Dad, today we have shown them these 2 iconic legendary castings by MotorMax. We have shown them...
By the way, the Vega was the car of the year in Motor Trend 1971.
See, isn't that cool? We have 2 legendary car of the year things here. We showed them first, the 1974 Chevy Vega 2300. Let us know what you think about that. We have shown you the 1974 Ford Pinto. Let us know what you think about the good old Pinto. We have shown you hypercars today. We've shown you the 76 Greenwood Corvette. This next show, we're going to show you the next 6 Hot Wheels, Matchbox, and Mahisto castings in the box.
When we get done with that box, we got another one coming that's, yeah.
You got a box.
Oh, we pull the cars and they're going in the box. They're going to be in this box right here when we get done with these, and they are absolutely...
Let me pan up this camera. Let us know what you think about our backdrop up here. Let us know what you think about all these different Hot Wheels and Matchbox castings. Some of these are going to be in a future show, some of these castings. So let us know what you think. and leave your comments. There's one thing we love on this show is your comments. We take every comment to heart.
Yeah, we're going to be having some more legendary vehicles that are going back, even some Hudsons and stuff coming up that's going to be really cool, and maybe a Caddy or two along the way.
Ooh, we got some Caddies coming.
We got some Chevys, Fords.
Some legendary Caddies.
We got all kinds of stuff that we're looking forward to. The Mustangs, Camaros, the AMC cars we still have that we can show that we're really looking forward to. There's just a lot of things out here that we're just, I don't know, we just get great joy out of being able to do this, but we're just looking so forward to having the chance to be with you guys each time and just to show y'all some of the coolest cars that's ever been built.
Now, do you like Apple Jacks?
Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah, I really do.
Well, we have a special Apple Jacks truck featuring in this next show.
Well, you know.
You don't want to miss it.
I gotta
look, Dad, it's green. It's green.
I know it. I gotta look up some because I've got some serial old Fords too.
So along with these 6 showcases we have here of the castings in this box, we're going to show them a legendary Matchbox.
There you go.
Vintage.
There you go.
Casting from Kellogg's Apple Jacks. Wow.
Yep.
Let us know what you think about the show today, Dad. We have so many incredible legendary viewers and subscribers and followers and people who comment to the show week after week and people who share the show with others around them. You are legendary. Thank you for what you do. And with that being said, Dan.
Yep.
Is there something we need to say?
Well, yeah, I guess there is.
Or should we let our viewers say it? Come on, can we hear you? It's something we end with every single show. That's right, they said it.
That's right.
They said it. Keep being
legendary.